Hello and welcome to episode 34 of Nightmare Down Under, the GearCity Let's Play, where we play Down Under in Australia on Nightmare difficulty. We started in 1900, now it is January 1972. And so it's the start of a new year, and that also means the start of the racing contracts for this year. So we finished at the end of, or towards the end of the last episode, the uprated version of our Philistine Sport track car. So what we still need to do, I think, is to submit it for contracts for this year. So we have a couple of people who are interested. So the 1970T is the track car, and the 1971 without the T is also the new track car, and the old one has 299 horsepower, and the new one has 321. So I screwed up a little bit in terms of naming, but that shouldn't deter us. So no, this is for next year. This is all for next year. Sorry. So last year's contracts were fulfilled, and here we can actually wait till the end of this year. So we don't have to do this. Actually, what's also out there is engine contracts for Formula teams, but that's also for next year's. So that's something we can do, that we can submit maybe our engine as Formula 3 engine or Algorithm 3 engine for any other racing series. What we should double check now is the setup for this year's races that we run ourselves. So there are the rally setting, where we focus on development mainly. So we will get our new uprated compact car, the Wombat, with the same 320 horsepower engine towards this year. So next year we can aim for maybe even winning the rally. Formula 3. So if we look at the competition, so ours has 221 horsepower, and we're not that far away from the others. Just of course about the experience and funding. So this year we want to grow quickly in terms of teams, and I think it makes still sense to have a bit more focus on development. And also next year will be then the year where we can attack a bit further. We also pushed the investment a little bit since we are raking in the cash very nicely. So in terms of grand turning, there are a couple of 4-liter V6s and so with more horsepower. So this is just more for fun. So here we try to find large teams and focus on performance. And then there is the manufacturer league for touring cars, and so here we try to get experienced teams and drivers. We're still focused on development, so next year we're going to get the better car, but we want to set up things quite nicely this year. Okay, so that makes sense. Otherwise, I think now we can discontinue the Philistine T, because this is still sort of ghost selling. And so we get at the end of, or at the start of next year, our new Grand Kangaroo. That's the oldest car that we have. And then we will give the Coupe Utility, the Ute, another makeover. What we'll also have to do at some point is to give the Kangaroo, or the uprated version of the basic sedan, a makeover, because they're using the old automatic gearbox, but no rush there. Okay, then let's advance. So sales-wise, I think, yeah, so we have to less Thylacine for the street. So 3000 Thylacine S to reduce the reserves a little bit. 5000 flatbacks. More Kangaroo LXs. That's good. That's a good thing for a change. Yeah, 5-1 is nice. More Wallaroos. Melbourne. So 4-5. Yeah, that looks nice, since the sales will probably take a bit of a dip anyway. So our contract's completed, so lots of engines, teams, and cars were assigned, racing reports. So nothing happened here. So let's check the sales stats. So there is now the next turbocharger. There's also, and that be something we can do, and there is the quad turbo, which we can't design yet. And the new body for the van. Let's just check. Yes, so the twin charger appears in 75. We can do that, and now we get a lot of stuff. So the quad turbo is skill 70, and we won't have that for a fair amount of time. But we are not that much after performance. Okay, so let's check sales stats. So top 50 sales, Grand Kangaroo and Emu. Again, our Grand Kangaroo still unfacelifted since 1961 because no competition. So our big competitor doesn't seem to bring a full-size sedan. That's probably, yeah, third place in all time, and it might break the million mark this year unless something out of the ordinary happens. And so the old Emu B is also well placed, and a couple of others. So we're doing pretty well. Company directory. So first let's look who's going to die. Doyeti, Heiho, String, so a couple more on the way out. They don't look too healthy here. We are looking healthy, 302 million profits. That's awesome, 538 sales. So are we the biggest independent? Q-Worth does 2.1 million. Nope, there are a couple others, but in the same ballpark, and so generic cars are also doing fine. And the development profit and loss, so now our profits skyrocket, I suppose, since we're now selling the expensive top sports car and coupes. Let's just check our pension fund. So let's just add a few more so that they can keep working that. Hang on, so plenty of stuff in there, and we have the cash that we can afford that. Otherwise the rest is fine, so we're getting our compact car in 7. So sales have slumped a little bit, so 4,000 Wombat track. Otherwise, I think less emus, 7,000 emus. We're going to bounce back anyway. 1,500 Kangaroo B. That's few. Is that competition? And you want me to adjust production? Not sure why. So let's check the market for racing report. No victory, so the manufacturer league looks nice. So we have the first results. So Rally Series, wow, we are way behind. I would have expected more. And also for the manufacturer league, okay. Would have certainly expected that we would do better there. But anyway, we don't. So maybe I'm just too frugal about that. Why do we have minus 10 million cash flow? Oh, because we pay 20 million in taxes. Yeah, that's a good reason. So lots of companies building new factory. So we'll look at the outcome of the racing at the end of the year. So Kangaroo B 4.5. That's the LX. 6,000 emus. Guess that's age showing, but it's the next on the list. Rest is, and there are a few less Grand Kangaroos. So 5 months for the compact car. That's just one additional trim. That makes it easier to handle than the Thylacine. So yeah, racing is unchanged, but maybe we'll, if we do things differently next year, then we'll know. 30 million in cash flow. So yeah, this is nice. $26 million in taxes, yeah. So the Australian government is loving us. Otherwise, so 7,000 emus. So that bounced back indeed. Rest is great. New contract requests. Can check some of the army projects. So anything that's so Argentina Army has a compact SUV. Denmark Army pickup truck, flatback, and that's next year. So yeah, we can submit the offer and it will be lower. So we can say 1,800. They don't want that much torque. That's interesting. And here they have one with 188 torque. Both commercial fleet, that was the SUV. Tasmanian Devil Racing, interesting. But we sort that out towards the end of the year. So compact car in 3 months. So sales picked up and look fine. Compact car in 2. More Philistine S 3.5. Got the street version. Way more Grand Kangaroos. 8,500. Emus are okay. Rest looks decent. A few more Wombat track cars. So, compact car next month, then we can fulfill all the contracts for next year. Well, not fulfill, but sign the contracts for next year, so when we have the correct trim. So I can now stop the Wombat C production because we still have 914 reserves. Research complete. I didn't sunset it because we might still have contracts for that one. So 4,200. Do we have to use Brisbane? Probably. Let's see what the press thinks. What I'm also going to do is, I need to put this one on the market anyway for even more. And I manually stop selling the old 2-liter truck everywhere, so that I'm only fulfilling contracts from the reserves, but I'm neither producing nor selling the old one. They should go insane based on the results. First up was the truck. The author won't lie. I was scared. It's built for performance. So 321 horsepower to top speed of 256, 6.5 seconds 0 to 100, 264 newton meters of torque, and they love the handling. It's not comfortable. It's cramped. Build quality is good, and it's dependable. The fuel consumption is slightly high, and bare minimum of safety, so that's nice. So then let's go sign some racing contracts. So we can have one for the engine. So here someone wants to have an engine for Formula 3. They can have it. 500cc, that's something where we won't have to worry. Only 2000cc, so the formula stuff. So let's see whether we can make this a Formula 2 engine. French mountain climb series. Yeah. Formula Atlantic. Lots of French mountain climbers here. That's 500cc, 200cc, Formula 2. $300cc. Wow. I wish I could filter for engine size. This is work. This is for the Australian Formula, so no. That's something we're going to try again next year and do it properly. Italian Formula 3. I'm only at M. French Formula 3. Italian Formula 3. That engine we get a lot of mileage out of that engine. Pun not intended. That's for the Australian formula. That's 3 liters, 2 liters, Formula 2, and German Formula 3. Okay, so that's engine. Entire vehicles, same story. Philistine, 24 hours of Nürburgring. Compact car, European, the Evo. International sports car racing. European touring car. Australian? No. Finland Rally? Yes. Spanish Rally. Event Series. Deutsche Touring Series. German Rally Series. 24 Hours of Le Mans again. Deutsche Touring Series. American Pro Rally. Aussie Rally, that's where we run ourselves. Scottish Rally. 24 Hours of Tubbs. German Rally. 24 Hours of Nürburgring. Australian League, that's us, ourselves. Le Mans. Australian Grand Touring, I think we run that ourselves. Pan American Series. Pan American Series. Australian Series we run ourselves. Scottish Rally. Event Championship. We run that ourselves. European Touring Car. Australian Manufacturer League, we run that ourselves. American Pro Rally. Australian Series and European Touring Car. So plenty of offers. And I don't have to assign anything just yet. That's something I'll have to do once the contract is signed. I haven't. Hang on. Oh, I haven't put the Evo into production? Okay. So that's a track car. Now the Evo is in production. Good thing this happened now and not at the end of the year. Barely enough, so I can make even more. So the rest, why is the, okay, yeah, the Wombat still has reserves and no one's using it. So I might just put it back on the market again. The rest looks very nice. Yeah, I can slowly sunset the Grand Kangaroo because I'm going to get it in 2 months. So yeah, put this back on sale till the stuff is gone. Okay, can make a few less Evos for the time being. So we didn't get the full-size sedan contract for the Sydney Police Force. Okay, no big deal. New contract requests, 2 army projects, maybe they want to pick up. Vehicle of the Year, our Evo, very nice. So some more racing series for next year. So 3,000 Evos. We are selling off our remaining wombats. Let's just check whether we got new contracts for the new racing series. I think that's all the Australian ones. Nope, so here we are fine. So what was the outcome of all our racing stuff? Let's look at the results at the end of the year. So rally series, we are dead last. When the competition wasn't that great, we have the best acceleration, the lightest car, not the highest top speed. I'm not sure, maybe that's a factor, but we gained more experience than the others, and they all have very high funding, so that's maybe the difference. Okay, so more funded next year. So Australian Formula 3, we're 5th. That's not too bad. Where should we be? So we had 231. So Hoanshi 1, a Canadian 2, Windows Sports 3, Zesty 4. Yeah, so we are where we should be. So that's okay. Grand Turning Series, 4th. That's actually pretty nice. No win, but you can't have everything. And we actually made some nice, almost break even. Manufacturer League. Here we are last. And we shouldn't be, because we have the best car again. So maybe this is again a matter of funding. But that's then going to be the focus for next year. So we've submitted a lot of bids. We're going to get the full-size sedan, so we need to sunset it. So, and that's simply making 7,500 Grand Kangaroos. Okay, many building new factories. So we need to put engines into production. So we won a lot of contracts. So wow, that was effective. So then we set up our racing series. And we should also check the results of, oh boy, mark all as red. That's just the contract stuff. So let's see where we ended up for the champions of all the others. So Le Mans, last year, what were the contracts for last year? I'm not going to check this out now. That's just taking too much time. I rather focus on putting the new Grand Kangaroo on the market. So this was 8.2, so the new one for 10, because the car was sort of terrible towards the end and still sold like hotcakes. So something like this. We also want to see whether we don't price things wrongly. I think this is a nice price actually. So, and that's probably the reason why the old one actually sold. So raw customers 10,000, and here we have 8.6. So where are we in terms of, yeah, so it's 3.4 for the top kangaroo, and here our grand kangaroo should be above that, so I think that's fine. And the only thing that's more expensive are our sports cars, or the race cars rather. And we can always lower prices, but I don't think we have to. So it's on sale, then let's stop the old one, which is now thoroughly outdated. So end production. The next oldest actually is the kangaroo, because we had given the emu and the flatback bit of a makeover. But the kangaroos are still doing fine, and I want to have the automatic gearbox in production for at least a little bit before I put it into the kangaroo. So let's set up our racing stuff, and then we design a new ute. So setup. So Aussie Rally Series, maximum funding. Series focus. Let's focus on winning. Formula 3. So competition. We should be... Oh, we don't have the best engine anymore. But also let's focus a bit more on winning. And you're going to get some more funds. Grand Turning Series. I think this is fine. And also some more funding. And Manufacturer League. Team focus on winning. And more experience. And we double the funding. And we actually put the Evo here. And also for the Rally Series. Most important. So here is the new engine, and here is the new Thylacine. So I can actually now officially phase out the old Wombat T, so that it doesn't get in the way. And I think this also should have disappeared from, yeah, all the spares. So Grand Kangaroo is gone, a few more Kangaroo Bs. So there is no real urgent need to... So Melbourne has its limits actually. Some less Wallaroos. So that alleviates things a little bit. There are too many reserves. So the Emu is next in terms of redesign. More Thylacine S. Much less Wombats. Standard Wombats, that is. Okay. What does the press say about the new Grand Kangaroo? So we took some of our best engineers and threw them on the Grand Kangaroo C design. Marketing says they took all the popular references and features and rolled into the new full-size sedan with outshine the competition. So power 144 horsepower, decent response without being overly powerful. So the engine is nice. The 2.8 liter V6. And torque is average. It's rather made well for the bends. If you're looking for leather seats and all the latest gizmos, then pass on the Grand Kangaroo C. It's a workman design, yeah, that it is. Cargo space is between above average and good. It's not handmade, but some good quality. Very dependable, fairly economical, so the engine is nice. And safety is also great, so they really like the Grand Kangaroo. Let's see whether we can repeat this with the new Emu, the Ute. New generation, unibody, the 2.8 liter V6, 3-speed automatic gearbox. Body I think is still fine. So this is what we have. This looks similar. It's newer. So 801. Yeah, it's even larger. Very nice. The others are, some are weird, but otherwise similar. So we can play around with this a little bit. I think we still have these double headlights, so this is then the logical evolution of our Ute. Fuel consumption is optimal, so I don't think that we need to change many other things. Does quality matter? Not really. 48 is okay. Overall 48. Utility, cargo, focus, dependability, focus. Performance, focus is also at 44. Okay. Everything else doesn't matter. Fuel economy doesn't do a thing. Since we just learned the last episode, this actually influences acceleration. Alright. Yeah, this doesn't do anything either. Market demographics makes it somewhat worse, somewhat better. Why does it reduce cargo? That's really weird stuff. So time, 18 months 9.3 million, 17 months 11.4, so 18 months probably. 19 months is 8 million, 18 is 9.3. Yeah, 18 months is I think okay. Because 17 is 11.2. That's 2 million more. I don't think we are in a particular rush because the Kangaroo is rather fresh. And we can, yeah, think of sort of staggering new development also, since we would now also expand the teams that we use to improve things. But I think this is fine for our new Emu. So final stats, 144 horsepower. Can we update the engine, although we should have it in production a little bit first? So we can do both for a revamp, so we'll simply leave it at that. Okay, and that's the Emu C. Takes 18 months. So how does the new Grand Kangaroo sell? Contracts complete, so everyone is happy. Racing report, and the series have started. Let's check the stats after the end of the year. Some new bodies. Wow, so 5,000 missed sales. And also so more Wombat Cs, so that's 5,000 Wombat Cs now that we have sorted that one out. That's the Evo, that's the Evo. So Sydney, more Grand Kangaroos. 15,000, we actually can't make them. So we need to make 2,000 more in Brisbane. Everything that Brisbane has. So we need to start revamping factory 684. That's probably not enough. So Melbourne. Okay, factories. what can I expand? So I can't expand Sydney, that's just insanely expensive. I don't think I can expand Melbourne that easily either. 170 million looks pretty expensive. So probably have to... Then I'm simply redesigning the smaller of the other two, probably Melbourne again. And Brisbane, that's also insanely expensive. So Melbourne actually looks pretty decent in terms of upgradability. 170,000 for 11 more lines in 6 months. Yeah, so then that's probably what I'll do. Upgrading Melbourne to 52. And yeah, so Brisbane is low tech. So simply to get the production capacity. 20 lines are fine, but much better technology. And let's give it 3 stars. Yeah, so and this is end of 1975. So I need more space to build cars, which is a good problem to have. Alright. Everything else was fine sales-wise after we fixed this. Wallaroos, plenty of reserves, less emus. 6,000 emus. What I probably also can do and should do, but this will not help me, on the contrary, reconditioning. I haven't done that for a fair amount of time. So I assume I'll simply use these slider settings and then I will probably still miss sales. Yeah, so I'll work with the numbers that I'm getting next time around. Oh, and we didn't check the yearly stats. That's something we should do. So racing reports. 1 victory in the rally series. Very nice. So that worked. And let's check where we are in the manufacturing league. So Noah is now in Brisbane. Okay. Our first racing victory. And this is just borderline nuts. This is not borderline nuts, this is nuts. So for some of the others, this hasn't had much of an effect. So more Wallaroos. Although let's use up the reserves first. So emus 9,000. Flatbacks 7,000. And then this one goes to the Grand Kangaroo. So Wombat Evos 6,500. And here I'm still going for quality. The rest goes to Grand Kangaroos. That's Brisbane. So Melbourne. So Kangaroo LX 5.2. Philistine 4-4. Philistine S is fine. So that didn't make it much difference. Wombats 5,300. 4-7 is all I can do, but I'm getting Melbourne in 5. Okay, let's see how many Grand Kangaroos. I'm putting it also in production in Brisbane. So, stats. Top 20 sales last year. The Emu, 85,000, but dropping off. So everything's booming. All time. Grand Kangaroo 1 million. Yeah, past the 1 million towards the end. And that's now the third best seller in the world. Let's see whether we can top this with the current one. Unless NOA decides to drop a full-size sedan. So who's making losses? That looks like they bought a Mark. Fred Lund didn't buy a Mark, so these look like, or some of these look like being Garners. I don't think Biscuit bought Michigan Electra. I think they had that one before. Who made profits? So the top companies, 2 million, and then a big drop. So top 3, and then a big drop. I wonder whether these eventually want to come to Australia at some point. I have no idea. We are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th largest, no, the 7th most profitable company, that way around. If we sort by sales, then we are still hanging in, and we are still not the biggest independent. But I think the profits look fantastic. Yeah, so this goes through the roof. So let's see whether we sorted out our sales after reconditioning everything. Racing report. So we didn't win this time around in the Rally League. Okay, so we need to make this one... No, we don't need to make more expensive. We simply in 4 months we're going to get stuff, and I can make less emus, and that will help things in the meantime. So emus 8. So let's check the racetrack. Whether we can maybe increase funding or something. No, it's at the maximum. So Emerald won 2, we won 1. Maybe we come second. That'll be nice. So for Formula 3 we're in the midfield somewhat. We're still not working in the manufacturer league. I suspect that's because the other cars can reach 299 top speed and ours can't. So acceleration isn't important, but actually the highest top speed. So we may have a better rally car, so that's something to keep in mind for the future. Although I wouldn't really know how to actually achieve 300 top speed with just 319 horsepower. Because this is... let's check the gearbox, just being curious. Learning how this works. So this is our racing gearbox. No, it is actually on top speed. So there is nothing I would be aware of that I could change. 5-speed, limited slip, maximum top speed, maximum performance focus, maximum shifting ease, best materials, compact car, regular compact car chassis, engine, racing engine. Top speed 300, 250, so that doesn't do anything. No, I have no idea how I would achieve that. But at least we won a rally session, so that's something. Okay, I almost managed to cover the demand for the full size, so that's cool. Huge Wallaroo demand, which I won't be able to satisfy since I have no production lines left. Melbourne in 3, which is much needed. So until I have to live with that. So we again won a rally series, so that seems to alternate. So one new army project. Melbourne in 2. Less kangaroo bees. So 1.5 kangaroo bees, the base version. I think for the time being can have that and put those onto the Wallaroo. 5.4. 6,000, yeah, that should work. So current results, Aussie Rally Series. So we're actually hanging in there. This actually goes back and forth. So yeah, let's see what happens towards the end. I might actually be able to say even more winning. Now or never. So have maximum funding anyway. Yeah, we won. So we have a nice rally car. So Melbourne next turn. And then I can probably compensate for a couple things. So Emu is selling off reserves. Can make a few less flatbacks and then more Grand Kangaroos. The rest, so I can make less Evos, 5.7. And more Grand Kangaroos. Everything is more Grand Kangaroos. Rest looks good. Okay, now I have Melbourne. So factory upgrade in Melbourne. No missed sales finally, but I think we're eating through a couple things. Yep. So more kangaroo bees. Base version. 1.8. 5,000 Wallaroos. But here I can now simply reduce this to a reasonable amount of cars, that we don't utilize every production line to the fullest. 8.5 emus. $5,000 kangaroo bees. Thylacines are fine. Wombat C is fine. Evo is fine. So 19,500 grand kangaroos. So I can remove them from Brisbane, because that's just nothing in comparison. So 16.8, I need 19.8. So 3,000 more. Not in Brisbane, in Melbourne. So 4.3, 4.6, which is fine. Okay, so now I have some space. So Brisbane is being redesigned. Pickup truck denied. What we can also check is whether some new contracts, there will be new contracts for the race cars, but some army contracts, nothing for us. So compact SUV and SUV. And a diesel pickup truck. Yeah, not sold on diesels anymore. Here we're still getting some additional skills. So where are we on the racetrack? With the rally series. We're leading with 3 wins. So might we win our first championship? Perhaps. So here we should be in the midfield. Yeah, 7th. Grand Turning Series hasn't started. Manufacturer League, second to last. So 10 more months for the Cube utility. One thing that's worth thinking of, do we want to pick up onto a different platform and then do something with that additional platform? And that of course will mean, is there something that would fit to this platform in the list of car bodies? So pickup truck, we're going to have one. And with the ladder frame, long wheelbase ladder frame was always, could say, yeah, they simply put the pickup truck as a sort of overgrown ute on it. But you could also say, on the unibody, the pickup truck wouldn't really fit anymore. So this would be something different compared to the ute. So would we have a van? The other thing would be the SUV, which hardly anyone wants. There's the compact SUV, but that's too small. So that's a bit of a tricky thing. Maybe the regular van. That could fit. So that's all things to consider. And of course, whether we will win our very first championship. That all sounds like something for the next episode.